Hi everyone, here's Estella and David. This is our Studio Story Folio 1 reflective video. In these 4 weeks, we divided up the project so that each person was responsible for different parts. Firstly, we summarized and outlined the original concept, method, and outcome of the project. Then we investigate the marketing in order to examine this type of animation from a commercial perspective.
Now is the main character design part, and continue for the last 2 weeks. I had produced new characters. Now you can see the last 2 weeks I designed characters through some mystery creatures, the vampire, the Chinese zombie, and the Japanese oni. But this time I want to design the character with the cyberpunk style, because we will did the project about the live broadcast. I think if use the cyberpunk character is more attractive and interesting. This kind of characters design is more popular nowadays. At the start of designing this character, we want to achieve the effect that this character has 2 characteristics. So the character maybe will change the forms when she broadcasts. And so you can see this has 2 different styles. And I will also add some elements about horror games to this character. You also could see the crazy emotion expression about this character. After designing this style, I will continue to make this character in details. So in week 4, I have finished most all line works and color works. Through this view, I could learn a lot of knowledge about live 2D design, especially in arrange the layers, because live 2D and broadcast and animation there will be many different layers. How to arrange the layers about the live 2D is very important. Planning the layers well during the design phase will greatly improve subsequent work efficiency. Next step, I will add many deformation effect about this character.
My main task during these 4 weeks was to create a test model so that I could test the software. Firstly, I chose a sketch with animal ears and tails, as the main model will have more dynamic deformation afterwards. Based on my character design, I first split the layer in Photoshop, then import the figure into Live 2D software, then create the different mesh for different parts and adjust the shape and mesh through the controller to create different movements. The most important thing in this section is to make accurate adjustments to each parameter in order to show a more realistic dynamic. At the same time, a realistic physics engine can be added to the software to physically simulate hair and clothing swaying effects. I choose to face capture the model with T-Tuber Studio, which is currently the most popular software, so I can track and control the model with the camera. While testing, I found some problems. For example, when I set up the model, I had set the mouse parameter 0 and 1 backwards, which resulted in the model recognizing my mouth as open when I actually had it closed. Also, this problem occurs with the left and right eyes opening and closing. The WIP Studio also has internal parameters that can be set to control the model more precisely with different parameters. This is also the focus of our Folio 2. production of Folio 1, many issues were identified and resolved, and we have reflected and summarized them in a number of ways. In terms of designing the character, firstly, the need to minimize the need to have a strong sense of light. Secondly, the use of straight lines in the character can be reduced properly for a smoother body turn. Thirdly, in the progress of split layers, the layers need to be handled more precisely. In terms of making and controlling the model, firstly, we need to distinguish the value of -1, 0, and 1. Secondly, the left and right direction in the software are mirror direction. Thirdly, more precise parameters need to be set when using the physical engine.
Now is the feedback part. In past few weeks, we get some new consultation feedback from Kate and Chris. They give us many useful information. Because of the consultation, we changed a lot about our directions. At the first, we just want to explore the transformation about the live 2D in the live horror broadcast. But Chris and the kid told us we should find the innovative field and direction. In this technology explosion generation, it's necessary to find the innovative fields. So we change our direction to compare the different softwares. Summarizing a reasonable live streaming scheme is a very good research direction. Summarize last 4 weeks. You can see the timetable we made in week 2. And we have basically achieved the progress on the timetable. But they are a bit overloaded in the character design step because there are many layers and the character design will not be very easy. In next weeks, we will to renew the timetable and to find a very reasonable way. Next week's work, we will officially enter the research direction. In this stage, we will renew our timetable and we will use the 4 different softwares to compare the different live 2D effects. We will binding the model into these 4 different softwares. Estella and I will responsible for 2 pieces of softwares. According to this way, maybe we could get some very useful information and scheme for the personal users. I wish our research direction will be interesting and successful. Thanks for watching.